Welcome in, everyone. I hope you are all doing well wherever you are watching from right now. We have a follow-up to the video from April 10th. I'm filming this on April 11th. On April 10th, we spoke about Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, or however you pronounce her last name, saying essentially that Mexico would defend its sovereignty against any United States incursion into the country that would be happening to crush the drug cartels. Turns out there were even more comments that she made that are just quite honestly baffling, and frankly, I don't understand at all. We're going to get into all of that and much more. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment with your thoughts below on how you want to see President Trump handle the drug cartels, and now let's get into it. So as I said, we covered on Thursday how the Mexican government, the Mexican president, is trying to get into a standoff with President Trump, essentially arguing that the United States will not be allowed to go in and handle these drug cartels in a violent fashion. This to me doesn't make any sense. It's quite frankly a little bit mind-boggling, very stupid, and it's time to remind these people who's actually running the world and who has the most powerful military that there is. And this comes after the CIA reviewed legal authority to make a strike in Mexico, and then President Trump was shown options of how to essentially drone strike options. He was shown options of how to take out the cartels with drones, which as of this filming, April 11th, has not yet happened. Well, it turns out Sheinbaum had some more comments about this, and this comes from Reuters, saying that they categorically reject any unilateral U.S. military action in Mexico, claiming, quote, that the military action would not resolve anything. That is the president of Mexico telling us that if you kill these people, if you use the military to kill the cartels, that won't resolve anything. I don't know what planet she thinks she's living on, but last time I checked, if cartel members are dead and their warehouses have been blown up and their money's gone, that actually resolves quite a bit. But there's more. She also said the people of Mexico will not, under any circumstances, accept intervention, interference, or any other act from abroad. So that's Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. More comments from her talking about the situation in Mexico, talking about how the Mexican government totally and completely rejects the idea of the United States coming in to take out the drug cartels, and they will not tolerate any intervention of any kind. So we are now in a standoff with the Mexican government over the cartels, and there's really no other way to say it than it certainly seems like they're interested in protecting the cartels. And by their actions, if you look at their actions, that's exactly what they're doing. Why is it that the Mexican government does not want the United States to bring our military power to the fight to free their country from the cartels? The cartels poison 100,000 Americans a year. They die. They ruin families. They ruin lives. They ruin communities. They destroy generations. They do the same thing in Mexico. Except in Mexico, there's a lot more direct violence. Why would the Mexican government not want us to come in and help? And more importantly, where do we go from here? We're going to discuss that right now. Now, I know some people might argue what I'm about to say might come off as a little bombastic, a little over the top, a little too blunt, a little too aggressive. And I want to let you all know that I mean what I say here. And I do not care if the enemies of America don't like what I'm saying. I'm an American. My concern is America. And right now, we need to reset the table. We need to remind people who's actually running the show. We have the strongest military in the world. It's not close. We're the most powerful military to ever exist. We're the most powerful country in the world. It's not close. These are the facts. You might not like them, but they are the facts. And it is the duty of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, the government, and the United States military to protect our citizens wherever they might be and protect them from any threat that might be out there. If the government doesn't do that, then what is even the purpose of having a government? At its core, the government's sole role is to stop pain, carnage, and suffering from coming into the country. And that's what these drug cartels are. They're evil scumbags pushing their poison into the country, killing our people, destroying families, and it can't be tolerated. And I would make the argument, based off how many people have died from what they have pushed over the border, they are the single biggest threat the United States faces. Now, we can talk about China and their ambitions, and we have to check that. We cannot let the Chinese do whatever they want. They have the world's second biggest military. They have a massive economy. They're getting richer, and they're going around the globe. But they're not in the same boat in terms of what's at your front door, who can reach out and touch you, like the cartels can with their poison. Granted, China helps produce the drugs that then they ship up here, and that also needs to be addressed. But it is the job of the president to keep our people safe. And if the Mexican government wants to do this song and dance about how it's not going to resolve anything if we kill these people, they're not going to tolerate us doing it, who are they protecting? Why is the Mexican government so invested in protecting the cartels? Or at least that's the optics they're giving off when they talk like this. It's a question worth asking. We know the Mexican government has been corrupt for a very long time. We know the drug cartels have an incredible amount of influence in Mexico. But let me speak as bluntly as possible. This is happening one way or another. We are going to keep our people safe. And if that means we have to fly drones with missiles on them and start blowing up the seaside villas that these cartel leaders live in, so be it. If this means we have to blow up their warehouses, so be it. If this means we have to put boots on the ground in special forces, special operations raids, so be it. These people have been allowed to poison our country for decades, and it has never been dealt with as harshly as it should have been. And the Mexican government should be jumping at the opportunity to work with America in order to free their country, eliminate this threat. And instead of doing that, this woman, Claudia Sheinbaum, is taking a different approach. She's trying to make it seem like she's in a position where instead of accepting our help, she'd rather protect the cartels. We've seen the comments, 2 straight videos now. So my message to anyone in the Mexican government is quite simple. You are either with us when it comes to ending this threat, or you are against us. There is no middle ground. Nobody can sit on the fence here. You're either for killing the bad guys, or you're for protecting them. And if the people running Mexico had an ounce of intelligence, they'd be on the phone with Trump right now, figuring out a way to hit these guys as hard and fast as possible. And instead, we've got a clown show ongoing, making threats to America. You don't threaten America. You don't threaten this country. Our military is capable of crushing anyone we want to. And I guess that's something the Mexican government seems to have forgotten. And we're obviously not going to attack the Mexican government. That's not going to happen. But we have to hit these cartels. And if they don't want to help, then they should be dealt with as harshly as possible until they wake up and decide to clean up their own backyard. It's truly that simple. I'm done watching Americans die. I'm done watching the pain in these communities. And if Mexico doesn't want to play ball, we'll figure out a way to get them to play ball. End of story. End of story. So I hope President Trump picks up the phone, lets them know what's up, gives them the good news, and reminds them who's running the show. Because it's not them, it's us. And this needs to get done, and it needs to get done in brutal fashion. Protect our people, kill the cartels, send a message, we will not tolerate you poisoning our communities. That's where I stand on it. I make no apologies for it. None. But I want to hear where you stand on it. Let me know in the comments how you want to see Trump not just handle the cartels, but handle the Mexican government if they want to try to get in our way when it comes to protecting our citizens. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see y'all next time.